All right, today on the bench we have a Sansui 5000X. Trying out a new camera, waiting for a new mount to come in, so we'll see how this goes. I'm kind of changing my my camera setup, and I want to get some different audio set up in here. So you may see a couple of videos where I'm bouncing between my old camera and this camera, and sound may sound different because I'm using a mic or not using a mic. So this is kind of my transition period between setups. So anyway, today we have a Sansui 5000X. Customer, this is a guy I do work for quite a bit. He picked this up at an estate sale. He has not powered it on, checked it out, so we're going to do that right here. I do have it connected to some speakers and the dim bulb tester. I have turned this on, so I kind of know what's going on with it. So I will share some of that with you as we kind of go through it. Now, full disclosure, and I think I'm coming to terms with the fact that I may be kind of an audio snob. And the reason why I say that, I'm just going to take a minute to talk about this, is I absolutely love cap-coupled receivers. This is a capacitor-coupled receiver. To my ears, they sound very warm, very tube-like, and that's kind of the only way to describe it. It's a more mellow sound. It's not harsh. But I have a Pioneer SX1050, a Pioneer SX3900, a Sansui 9090, a Macintosh. Those are what I have set up in different rooms in my house, right? Because I have completely rebuilt those receivers, and if you go by sales prices, all of them are close to $1,000 or more. You know, they're worth that on the secondary market. But I'll be honest with you, my Sansui 4000, which is good for about 400 bucks, I think sounds better than all of them. But I don't listen to my Sansui 4000, right? I don't listen to my Pioneer SX1000. I don't listen to my Sony STR 6050, and I think they sound better than most of my direct coupled receivers. So anyway, I absolutely love late 60s, early 70s cap coupled receivers because they just sound wonderful. So someday I may swap some of those out and just enjoy the music and not look at whatever I think my accomplishment was in terms of rebuilding the other stuff. So anyway, let's get on to this. Enough editorializing. So power it on. Dim bulb is good. Let me kill some of the lights here. So we have some bulbs out. There should be indicator lights underneath here. Those are all out. Little pop, FM. I'm getting sound on one channel, not the other one. Now the other day I was getting sound on both, so this may be an issue where I don't have something connected in the back, which is probably it. So, dirty controls, there's scratchiness in the pots, so I have to clean those at a minimum. I do have sound on all inputs, and everything sounds good except for the scratchy pots and the lamps. Now, the interesting thing about the Sansui 5000X is, and this I don't know, but there are two different types of lamps that may be present in the Sansui 5000X. It's either going to be LED style or type, and if I have some of those, I can probably swap them all out today as I'm going through and cleaning this, or they are bayonet types. Now, I do have bayonet types incandescent, but not LEDs. This is one of the few receivers where I like LEDs because this display just pops with LEDs. So hopefully these are LEDs. If not, I can buy bayonet type LEDs, but they're pretty expensive. And for those people that are like, what are you talking about with a bayonet type LED or a bayonet type bulb? You have screw-in type bulbs, you have the fuse type bulbs, and you have bayonet type bulbs. So in a bayonet type bulb, you'll see these two little notches. You push these down, the housing is spring loaded, so you push it down, and then there's a groove where you lock this into place right? So there's a groove where these two little pegs or posts go in, push it down, there's spring resistance, and then you turn it. So I can get LED type bulbs, bayonet bulbs, but they tend to be pretty expensive. So, and by expensive I mean I could buy 25 white LEDs for $25. I can probably get 5 or 6 of the LEDs with bayonet type bottoms for the same amount of money. So anyway, this is the Sansui 5000X. I'm going to take this apart and look at the lamp situation. Before I cut over to my other camera and film from up top, this is how this comes apart. Remove these screws. I don't think there's anything holding it on the back, but we'll remove these screws. It looks like there are screws on the side too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws, and then this will probably slide out of the front, I would imagine, on this one. So, yep, so that's what I'm going to do. Well, man, look at that. Didn't even account for the fact that I didn't move the camera. These are the screws I was talking about, and then screws on the side. So anyway, off to taking this apart and looking to see what kind of bulbs or lamps we have. All right, back to the old camera setup. So fortunately, this uses the LED type or fuse type LEDs, or gosh, if I can talk. This takes the fuse type lamps, so I can use LEDs. That's what I was trying to say. Just kind of looking, poking around on the inside. I don't know that I see any evidence of work. I'm not sure what those red dots are for. Sometimes people will mark capacitors that they've tested or checked, so I'm not sure what that is. If that is like that from the factory, see these green blobs on everything. So maybe this was gone over at some point in time in its history. So to replace the lamps, the face has to come off of this, I believe, I'm pretty sure. And it looks like there are 1, 2 for the indicators, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lamps this will require, and I don't think I have enough. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I did order some yesterday. Didn't realize I was so low. So I'm going to take this apart. To get to these again, you have to take the faceplate off. So we'll go through that process. Taking this apart. And the lamps should be here this weekend, I think. It's coming from Peace, Love, and Music on, it's like peace.love.music on eBay. Peace, Love, Music. I don't remember the actual username, but they're a member on Audio Karma, the Audio Karma forum, and they're a trusted seller of things like capacitor kits and lamps. I also use another source for lamps if I have a very specific application. So for example, I have the SX 3800, and I'm just going to order a lamp kit from D Wojo is his username on Audio Karma. He's kind of the lamp expert, so that's an example of where I actually go out and will just buy a kit. But I won't for this one because these are just fuse bulbs. One thing I did not check, and I'm going to check right now, is the indicator. Yeah. So the dial pointer light is good, so I won't have to replace that, which is something that makes me happy. All right, so I have to figure out the process for removing this faceplate. Looks like that's a regular screw. I won't spend much more time taking this faceplate off, but I pulled all the knobs. Looks like there are a couple of screws on top. There may be a screw on the bottom. Then I should be able to slide this out and kind of show you where the lamps are. I'm going to have to move this to my other bench. because I'll be waiting on those lamps to come in once I get this apart. Looks like probably 2 additional screws on the bottom. Hopefully. I may have to remove 2 more, but we'll see. Yeah, gotta remove some more. And this should do it. I know this isn't the most exciting thing, but if you haven't taken the face plate off of one of these, I just took a couple of minutes to work through it. Oh, I got 1 more. I got 2 more. So these are interesting, and the 4000, the 2000 are similar. It has these other little locking, kind of like threaded. They're not really bolts. They're like washers that are threaded, or some kind of holder. So you've got to use some needle nose pliers to get in these little tiny grooves and turn them. And when I put these back on, I do not sink them down at all, because you always run the risk of scratching this metal faceplate. So you want to exercise some caution when you do this. Oh my gosh, come on. There we go. Alright, so faceplate is... Oh, I got 1 more. Dang it. Forgot about one down here. Oh, and this is the one with the really narrow grooves. There we go. And pull that one off. Probably have to watch the video to remember where that one goes. It goes with Mike. So that comes off. So and then remove these screws. Carefully remove this. I'll have to detach this tape here. May have to run another piece of tape there. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws, and I should be able to very carefully remove this, the dial faceplate, and then the lamps will be behind there. I'm not sure about the lamps over here. And then you can see the fuse type lamps, and that thing just completely disintegrated on me. The fuse type lamps for the indicator, kind of the indicator lights, are over here. So those will be fun to get to. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take this apart, swap some lamps out, and show you what it looks like. You know, for these, I think I'm going to remove this board. This might make it easier to get to those two. Whoa, that's kind of loose. Let's see if that does anything for us. Doesn't look like it's going to do much for us. I thought maybe this board would come out, but no. Oh, that's an interesting setup there. Okay, anyway, I thought that might be of some interest, but not so much. All right, so let me get back into replacing these lamps. Did some more testing. I forgot to check out the kind of the indicator lamps. And when I say indicator lamps, I'm talking about, if you can see this, we have FM stereo, phono 2, phono 1, and auxiliary. Phono 1 is not working. Auxiliary, phono 2, and stereo, the stereo light is working. I gotta clean off my fingerprint. So I will have to replace one of these. I do have lamps for those. They are in these positions here. So this is FM stereo. This is phono 2. This is phono 1. So this is the one I'll have to replace. It looks like it's going to be fun. Probably won't be too bad. Anyway, want to let you know we do have one lamp out. That's phono 1. And I'm just going to replace that one because I'm going to replace it with an incandescent. So what I'll probably do though is I'll wait until my other lamps come in, and I'll just kind of do all of this at one time because I do have some other projects that I can bring over to the bench and work on. So anyway, next little segment you'll see me probably talking about replacing all the lamps at one time. Well, it took a little bit longer than I thought because I forgot that I had to replace the Phono 1 lamp. So I had to go back in and do that. So anyway, it's all good. Again, this is one of the few receivers where I really think LEDs kind of make it pop, make it look really good. So threw LEDs in there, replaced the Phono 1 lamp, cleaned all the pots and switches, listened to it, sounds great. I'm going to treat the cabinet with a little bit of Johnson wax and feed, I think, and then call this one done, get it back to the owner. So as always, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.